my god.
Oh my goodness. Been on here, the world seems like it's coming to an end, right? Scooter, get back there. Scooter's trying to crawl under the table, guys. So, can I get the thumbs up in the chat if the audio sounds good and everything, so we can go from there. What we got in here? Shit just got real. How you guys doing? Yeah, I guess it did. What's up, Spectre? How you doing? Oh man, it's been a while since we put like 2 or 3 videos up in the last month and a half. February was a very interesting month for sure. As you know, y'all saw the video about me taking out my mirror, and a few people had something to say, disagree about it. But I was doing 10 miles an hour under the speed limit and going around a curve, and a bus that broke down was sticking out about 6 feet in the lane. And my first instinct is not to jerk the wheel, but look and see where I got to go, make sure nothing's there, and did that. And I still was at least able to get out of the way from a devastating impact.
Scooter, please.
Go down. Go. He knows we're on here, and he's like, what about me? Get up there. Get up there and lay down. So, and then I did a video about the girl flipping in the snow. That was interesting because the way she handled it, like she was a new car. It was her first accident. She didn't wreck hard, but it's just the way she ended up on the bank and it tipped over and rolled over on her. What's up, Mr. Blackbeard?
And then I got a drunk guy who was so drunk. Pulled on this deserted Texas highway in front of me, and you could tell he was messed up. He kind of drifted to the median and then recovered, and then he started this long, slow, like dumb, dead drift to the other side. No brake lights whatsoever. He crashes into an embankment at like 55, 60 miles an hour. So I start running out there. Eric's like, don't go out there, he's messed up. I'm like, I smell gasoline. We need to get him out of there. So Eric went up there and said he was...
No, he was hammered, because when I went to open the door, the first thing he did was like, I'm okay, and was trying to start his truck. It's not funny because he could have hurt somebody, but he was trying to start his truck, and like it was total. The whole front end was bent up, like where he literally launched about 20 feet, 30 feet distance and about 10 feet in the air, because he had a culvert and went down in the culvert, and there was a driveway crossing it, so he hit that like a ramp and just launched clear over it. Missed the highway sign by a few feet, and I mean, he thought he was going to go somewhere. He started his truck up and tried
and then he realized he had like gas cans that were in the back of his truck.
Oh man.
And that's where the gasoline smell was coming from, fortunately.
His whole toolbox flew clear out of his truck. Like, he had one of those big, huge toolboxes. It was like, there was shit scattered everywhere. It was quite a hilarious thing, but at the same time, I mean, he went to jail, obviously. We sat in the back of a cop car, because the funniest thing that happened out of the whole thing was, she yells at me, somebody just flew off the road in front of us. So, like, she pulls over. The first thing we did was jump out to go help them, and she forgot to grab the key in the door lock. So I forgot to grab the key, but I was the first one out of the truck. Yeah. She forgot to grab the key. But yeah, what's her shirt? Automatic Habit.
Oh yeah, that's a band my brother used to play with.
Yeah, it goes good, everybody. Hey, Sugar Shot, I'm gonna say hi to everybody in here. While everybody's in here, let's see. We got get this thing working over here. Get my mouse.
Audio is iffy.
Audio is iffy. What do you mean it's iffy? I think my mouse is about dead, actually. It's all right. I got a mouse pad here. We got Trucking with Jonathan came in. Big Nasty trucking along with Kirsty. Hello. The other trucker, James, was funny. Thank you. Yeah. we got a TikTok that's so on the because my phone doesn't have hardly enough signal to do here. Let's see. Anthony Blackbeard, what's up? You know, I don't stop. Go on, man. Yeah, I want to do something. Sorry about that, man. There's trucks moving around in the parking lot here, and it's causing like when they go, it might cut out the signal a little bit. So sorry about that. You're in North Carolina, last day of phase 1, about to head to Murray. Thanks for all the info. I got you as my reference.
Nice.
Been a very memorable trip. Laugh out, y'all. Y'all be safe. Hey, man, I appreciate that. You know, this company has been nothing but the best to me. You know, a lot of people talk crap about just about every company out there. Some, you know, PTL in the last couple of years since I've been here has improved over just the couple of years I've been here. They've done things a lot better. They did get a new CEO about the time that I came in, and I guess, you know, they wanted to put more investment into everybody, and it's gotten a lot better. How do you say that? Nuevo Auto. If I didn't say hi to everybody, I apologize. Fishing Trucker says, "Hey, girlfriend."
Hey. I think he's talking to you.
No, he's talking to Kirsty, I think. Audio has taken a crap. Is the audio back up now?
It sounds okay to me.
Team awkward up. Yeah, so the signal kind of, I apologize about that. Like there's a truck going by right now, and I see the signal is bad on here. I can tell on the phone by looking at it.
Yeah, the audio is crappy.
Well, somebody said it's much better, but the signal's bad.
It's in and out.
Guys, we'll do the best we can here.
I will tell you, this is the smelliest Loves because there's like a slaughterhouse right down the highway from here to Oklahoma.
Yeah, middle of nowhere. It's like one of the only Loves. So I love that. It's just it didn't have any trucking.
There are a couple of those on this highway.
It wasn't a truck stop Loves. It was kind of weird. I think I already pulled a cigarette out somewhere. I don't know what I did.
You just left it in the ashtray.
I thought I pulled one out. So it's jumpy.
Oh, I shouldn't have done that.
Oh God! Don't be coughing.
They're coming for me.
Oh, I'm trying to see if I can get a better signal that works better. It's just not working out that great for us. So yeah, Scooter, you better back your back. Now it's kind of a little bit. It's in and out every single time a truck goes by. Can y'all keep the audio though, even though it's skipping a little bit on the video? Fishing Trucker, what's up? So
I can listen to the audio, I just can't.
After the that happened, man, we sat in the cop car for about an hour and a half waiting on a tow truck that was coming to get him. He was bringing us an airbag to where I could pop, you know, get in the side of the door and just hit the door lock, which is really simple. It took about 30 seconds to do. I've done it several times in the past, been able to get get in there and get in a vehicle that's I've been locked out of. Airbags work pretty good as long as you have the ability to flex the top of the door open. You get them airbags in there and it just stretches it open, then you can just use a rod that can hit the automatic lock. I've seen some people use strings that way to pop a lock, but yeah, that happened. We sat in the back of the Cobb car. It was funny because the Cobb opens the door. He was super cool with us. He was like the only sheriff around in that area, and he opens the door and goes, "Have y'all ever been in the back of a Cobb car before?" And I'm like,
"No."
I'm like,
"No."
Yeah. I say yeah, but it's been a long time, and this is a lot different than being in.
They had padded seats in there.
Yeah,
like leather.
We had like the SUV cop truck and everything, but they sat there. That what was really surprising to me is that this cop, the sheriff, was very nice to the guy that wrecked. He knew, like, they were sitting there waiting on the highway patrol to get there, and we were in Texas, I believe, right? Mm-hmm. Going from Houston north towards
like Highway 59 or something.
That runs up to like Texarkana. Yeah. So we're out in the middle of nowhere. But the sheriff, man, treated that guy with the most respect. He knew he just made a mistake. And then the highway patrol came there. The guy was in the what's up, Snore Ward? But the guy was so trashed. He had that I'm gonna start crying. Like, I walked by and he's like, "I'm sorry, man." I'm like, "It's all right. Just learn a lesson and move on." You know, I haven't ever had a DUI or anything like that, but I've been in that position where I've been that jacked up before, and in trouble, or in a situation where you're just shit-faced, you know. So how is everybody handling all this stuff out there, man? Is anybody running into any problems with running or anything like that? Because I know it's coming down to necessity stuff, and if it gets even worse, I think that could possibly be an issue with everybody just running, necessity stuff, and if there's enough of it for everybody, instead of like fucking stuff to build, stuff to build houses, stuff that's not like a necessity right away. A lot of them, it's looking like they're going to shut a lot of stuff down. And
should we be concerned going into LA County this Monday?
Yeah, we're going into Los Angeles County. It's been memorable with all the craziness over this virus. I think getting food in places be a good first trip. So we'll be back next. But when I'm so okay, man. Yeah, I remember you, man. Like, I think you said something in the chat on the video. Receivers playing doctor. Yeah, we haven't had an issue with that yet, but I'm sure like now that we haven't been anywhere to drop a load because we've been on this load for 2 days now, because it was just a load that we have to wait for them to open back up on Monday, because it was so far run we weren't going to get there by the end of Friday, so we had to just kind of wait it out. That doesn't happen often, but it has happened before. But I'm sure being in LA County, when we get there, they're either not going to let us come inside, or they're going to be like checking our temperature and stuff like that, or like, here, put these masks on, get some sanitizer on your hands, all that good stuff. Yeah, I don't think anybody can find hand sanitizer, man. Like, we had 2 little bottles and they're gone. And I think the biggest thing is everybody just, I seen a video, I think it was on TikTok, this guy talking about how he went to a truck, he was in the bathroom at a truck stop, and he heard like 7 people come in and go out, and not a single one of them these places we go to.
In this Love's, they've actually got hand sanitizer machines inside every stall.
Yeah. Well,
so yesterday I heard one lady sitting there, and I heard just on and on and on. She's obviously taking some home.
Hey, Billy, I spit on my hands sometimes, but it's not for that cause. So it's when she's being stubborn. So Billy Raines is in the house. Billy Raines is my boy, so don't fuck with him. I'll tell you that straight up. Y'all can not like me for that or whatever, but Billy Raines has been a good friend of mine. We've been friends now for a few months, and always been straight up with me. But that was funny, Billy. I know why you spit on your hands. It ain't about sanitizing. Don't be like playing it off like it ain't. So, Trucker Tom, yeah, I got you down. You're a moderator in here too. Smooth. What's up, Mr. and Mrs. Red Monkey Trucker? How you doing, Smooth Operator? Just getting some energy. We're trying to think of a video to do, but I'm gonna put this out there that we got a little news coming up soon. I can't really talk about it right now at all, but it's pretty big news. Yeah, that's about all I can say.
I'm not pregnant. Just
yeah.
don't even wonder.
Hell no. Man, all together, like through relationships and everything, we got like a fucking gaggle of kids or whatever it's called. We got ducks, is that what they're called? A gaggle?
A gaggle of geese.
Gaggle of geese or ducks, something like that. But yeah, we got a porn video. No.
You know, if somebody would offer us enough money,
it's fine with me. I see a lot of people getting views on Pornhub, so message retracted. You didn't have to retract that. It's all right.
I don't understand why people would pay for porn. Like,
yeah, right? It's free.
So much. You can find anything.
It's free. You can find anything you want to. Use your imagination. That's what I say. So, TJ Jones, bull of the bulls. What's crapping, man? Nothing much. We're waiting to go into Los Angeles County. The good thing is about this is they're shut down, and I'm telling you what, that we go in there ain't gonna be traffic at all. I've heard like people up in driving into New York and stuff already where they've got it shut down. Like it was just regular traffic, and it was like a time that there should be a crap ton of traffic. It's going to be the same in Los Angeles. I know that for sure.
I saw Kiersey's video where she was on the 101 in California, I think.
I didn't see that video, but I'll go
and
watch it.
It didn't look too. There were still cars, but it didn't look bad.
Do you like your new IH? What are you talking about?
International?
Are you talking about international?
International Harvester?
What are you talking about, man? If you're talking about the truck, yeah, international, yeah. Yeah, man.
I like it.
We had an international before we got the Freightliner, and it was the setup in it is not much different. Like as far as the amount of space you have, you just have to use it differently. That's about it. I like it a lot. The way that my TV, I got a 40-inch. I think y'all seen it in some videos before, but the way it fit in this one, I used an ingenious idea to mount it, and it worked just fine. The way the bottom stand fits in the bottom of the window, and it puts pressure up on the little box that hangs down for storage. So when I pushed it back, if I had to figure out, I was like, if I screw something in here, it'll lock it in, and I don't have to use like bungees or anything. And when I lock it in there, man, it ain't going nowhere. And the cool thing, you can pull out on the bottom and take it straight down, and I can sit it down. So the only problem that I've had with this truck so far is not really a problem. It's the fact that the inverter that's in here, it's strong enough to run everything. It'll run an industrial size refrigerator. I've looked up the instructions to this thing, and I just haven't had a chance to get down there and actually program it. It's programmable for the voltage and all that. We have not yet to run the batteries down in this truck enough for it to start for just battery mode just to regenerate the batteries. Like it's just got, you know, it's got strong batteries in it, but it's set to cut off at a certain voltage, and it's set higher than what the truck is set to restart. So once it starts getting low, it'll shut off. And it's also got it set on a 25-hour shut off mode. So I have to like get under there until I program it, turn it off, and, you know, reset it. So it's a pain. It's not that bad a pain in the ass, but I mean it's, you know, I just take the time to get down there, to stick my head down there and program it, and turn the shut off mode off, where it won't shut off. It's after so many hours it won't do that. And then I got to program the voltage lower than what the truck is set. And finding out what the truck is set at, to be honest, I don't have a clue how to do that. I just have to watch voltage reader on it, and I'd have to just try my best to run the truck down, run in the microwave, and watch the voltage and see when it starts the truck. And then if I set, I know they're usually set about like 12.4, something like that, or 12.2 in that area. If I just set the inverter at 11.9, that should take care of it, period. So the truck will automatically start. And it's also got the voltage jump, if it won't like cut off if there's a voltage change, like when the truck tries to start, it'll stay on. So oh,
we have one hood t-shirt each.
Yeah, we got these when we met up with what is known as Misfit Trucker now. I'm not going to call you that because you're Trucker B to me. You know, we met up with him one day at Hood's, and right before you get to Joplin up in Missouri. Mm-hmm. We bought us a couple of them. Let's see. Loser Snore Lord. Man. Snore Lord, you're not a loser, dude, at all. Snore Lord's a badass musician. Just we'll leave it at that. How many Hood's Truck Stop shirts do you guys own? Yeah, just a couple. I'm catching up. What's the truck? Oh,
at least.
That's a good one. That's a good one, dude. That was so funny. That's funny. I hate the video skipping, guys, like that. It drives me insane. It's just I gotta find that sweet spot. I think it's just gonna skip. Come on. Come on. Come on, there you go. Let's see if it's it keeps. Oh God. Oh, let's try it like this. See if we can find that sweet spot. Oh man. It sure ain't right there. So there's so many trucks moving around, man.
It's okay right there.
LOSER.
Just leave it there.
Yeah, it seems to be working. Y'all can see the reflection of the trucks going by, man. That's what's causing, like, we're all the way across the lot. I probably could get in the truck and drive closer and it'd be better, but you know, we didn't think about that. It seems to be all right where it's at right now. So the Walmart DC is nuts. Yeah, I've heard that. Sure. I've heard that for sure.
I wouldn't want to go to P&G right now.
No, P&G, I'm sure. Like, didn't we have a P&G load?
Not recently.
Not before it got this bad. I don't think we did. So it's gonna definitely. I don't see it getting any better for a while. If anybody's been looking at the statistics, there's a website. As a matter of fact, I'll pull this up. I wish I could do that on here, share screen. Yes, I can. Give me just a second, guys. I'll have to pull it up. Let's see. Type in.
Top story: as COVID-19 spreads, truckers need to keep on trucking.
Of course.
Joking.
Of course, man. Hold on. Yeah, totals. There's this website you can go to. This will, let's see if I can do this properly, guys. I'm gonna try to do this, so give me a second. Application window.
What's the website called?
Huh. Maybe it'll work better that way. Thought of a Chrome tab. That's how I did it. Coronavirus. Share. That's not what I meant to do. Okay, yeah. Alright. I got it up here. I gotta see if it works properly.
It's on there, yeah.
Yeah. Y'all can see that right now it's up to 304 cases. This shows the statistics of everything. Now, if you get down here to just today, there's been an increase of almost 5,000 cases.
Just in the U.S.
Just in the U.S. I don't know if y'all can see my cursor or not. Let's see.
I can't, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you can see today, new deaths today, 45. The thing is that the reason this could go up drastically, because right here, if you look at active cases, these are people that have just recently been diagnosed in the last few days, because it's extremely jumped. It's showing how many critical. You can only see that 171 have recovered from that. So that's the problem. And 1,000 have recovered. China, and that's China. So yeah. This website is, you can just look up, if you type in Google Corona totals, it'll be the first thing that pops up. So yeah, it's pretty drastic. That's what happens when a gamer. OTJB. Oh, that's that's his nickname, OTJB, the other trucker James Best. So yeah, I'm just interested to. I see detention in my future. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of places that people are sitting and running. Here's what I'm worried about, man, is that you get down to having, like, if it gets bad enough where they shut down, like they have a countrywide order to shut down non-essential businesses. That means all 3+ million truckers, 3.5 million truckers are going to be fighting over those same essential loads to keep the country running. And instead of having all the side stuff that is non-essential, so everybody turns towards that essential stuff. So to me, that looks kind of scary for everybody to be like, if you work at a company that's got set up contracts with people like Walmart DC and P&G and all these companies that run grocery stuff like reefer vans and stuff like that, I think that you can say that, but I just showed how quick it grew today. Like, and you don't even have a chance for people to recover. And what happens when we start getting sick? There's a lot of older people out here driving trucks that are in the age group that it really has a bad effect on. What happens then? What happens when it starts spreading from truckers? Because it's going to happen no matter what. I'm 38 years old. I'm not necessarily in the age group that to be worried about, but I have a compromised immune system. It's something I do have to worry about.
I'm 26.
Yeah, she's 26. I've had issues because I've smoked over 20 years already with my lungs. That's something to worry about too. So it's good money now, but it will collapse quickly. So I mean, we're still all going to get a $1,200 check. If you make anywhere from $79,000 and less, you get a $1,200 check. I don't know if that's supposed to be every 2 weeks for the month of April coming up, until they figure out something else. But I promise you, just like the Spectre, he was Kim Bio in the military, and just like he has bad feeling about this and seeing what's going on, we studied biological warfare, and this might as well be that, because you got a biological disease spreading around that not only does it kill people in a high age group and weakened immune systems and young people that haven't developed immune systems yet, it also, the people that do recover, a lot of them have, the ones that have recovered, they end up with lung damage from it because it affects the lungs so bad. I've seen people that have been in the hospital, they got these freaking vests on them that shakes them constantly to keep their lungs agitated to help get the fluid out. So, can't get insurance, but can get money, right? Well, I mean, I don't know. It is what it is. Like, I mean, they're trying to do the best they can, I guess, because like we in the modern society since 1918 have not dealt with something of this magnitude spreading across the world. We've had small little outbreaks of SARS, MERS, Ebola, and stuff like that, and they were good at containing it. But something's different about this, where it is living longer on surfaces and spreading a lot easier from person to person. Now, even if it still has a low death rate. I don't know if anybody knows the history behind the 1917, the Spanish flu that hit in 1918. In 1917, the same bug went rampant through some people, but it ended up stopping, and it went away for a while. When it came back, it had mutated to be highly deadly and very contagious. So there's also that chance that this could do the same thing. You always have to think about that. I'm just saying, like, be prepared. That's the best you can do. I don't think everybody needs to depend on the money from the government to protect themselves, because it could get to that. Everybody wants to freak out, and I'm not freaking out about it. I'm just saying that be prepared for the worst if that ever happens, because you're going to have to end up defending yourself and what you own and everything, because it could go fucking haywire. We got a lot of people in our country. If you spend time on the internet, you'll realize it real quick. People are freaking nuts. I do a great documentary on Spanish flu. It's 1,000 tax at 50% because it's not earned income. Pointless. I don't think it. I mean, is it going to? Who said it was going to be taxed? Are you talking about the free money? Yeah. What good is the money if you get the virus? I mean, that's right. If you survive it, a lot of people are asking too. Like, they worry about, like, if you get one, it's like chicken pox, for example. Everybody knows you get chicken pox. Most people never get it again because you build immunity to it. There's been flus in the past that you don't build immunity to. So people are asking, what if I get it once and I overcome it? Am I going to get it again? Like it circles back around, or like I said before, the mutation. So it's just crazy, man. We got to do the best we can, I guess you could say, and just hang in there. Everybody keep running, I guess. A lot of creepy in our country. We see a lot of creepy people, and there's a lot of people that just have they're nonsensical about things. I guarantee there's a lot of people that wouldn't be able to survive on their own because they just don't have basic knowledge of survival, because they don't believe in owning guns and things like that. And I really can't say that a lot on here, but I do believe in the right to bear arms. And I grew up learning how to hunt animals and things like that. And I know this, like, and from my military experience, that if I had to survive like that or in any way, that I'm going to be able to. But there's a lot of people in our country that good thing she's, you know, she's got me on her side, but there's a lot of people, man, that just, she's never even fired a weapon before. So, you know, there is a lot of people though that are just ridiculously going to be like, help me, I don't know, that won't survive because they have no background and they think, you know,
toilet paper, tons of toilet paper.
I got a bunch of toilet paper, so yay, I'm gonna survive. You know, that might get them some money if, you know, because, you know, no, that's not going to do anything for you. People just think they're going to be hoarded up for a long time. You're going to need more things than toilet paper. If you got a washing machine, you don't need 10 big ass packs of toilet paper. I mean, you need canned foods that are going to last a long time. Ramen noodles is a good thing to have. Cans of tuna is a good thing to have with high protein. Even things like sardines. I'm sure the military supply stores where you can go buy MREs are like been ransacked by this time. You know, all them doomsday preppers and the hoarders and things like that, the people that like do the shopping, like you see where the receipt people, where they like buy stuff all the time, they're completely stocked up for years to come. They're going to be all right with food for a while, but eventually that stuff's going to run out. If everything went haywire, and I'm not saying that's going to happen, I don't think that's going to happen, but in the case it did, that's not going to last forever. You got to figure out a viable source of food to maintain life, and that would revert back to old times, like when people had to hunt their own food and everything. And a lot of people just don't know how to do that at all. Bones and mackerel, don't buy that stuff. You know, I used to eat sardines that are flavored with crackers sometimes. Potted meat, man. That definitely shows you, like, you know, potted meat was like a delicacy to me when I was a kid, man.
Oh no, my mama stocked it.
I love that stuff.
She kept it under her bed.
It will get you by for a while. It'll definitely get you by for, I don't know, if you have how much, you know, it's a good source of fat, a little bit of protein. That's about it. A little energy, carbohydrates if you eat crackers with it and stuff like that. But you know, the tuna has the protein and stuff like that. But there's things that you can stock up on. Beans, bags of beans, man, is probably one of the best ways to go. And cornmeal, flour, stuff like that to have stocked up, because you can do a lot of stuff with that. You know, cornbread and beans, man, that's the way to go. You know, it'd be nice to have buttermilk with it too.
I'm hungry.
So, I know, like, my mouth's over here watering. We got some biscuits and chicken over here because Church's Chicken, they got one where we're at. Yeah, it's making me hungry. So yeah, last month was crazy. This month, you know, since we've moved in our truck and everything, we're just trying to get, you know, back in the swing of things. But there's, like I said, there's some change coming up soon. Big news. No, she's not pregnant, but and
are you pregnant?
I might be pregnant. I do have the Dicky-Doo disease. Anybody know what the Dicky-Doo disease is, or Dunlap disease? How many people know what that is? Because I surely have it. Boogers and fingernails here. Oh man, I've only took a few sips of this, man. Roscoe is pregnant. Tater might be. You never know. Tater needs to come back around. I think he needs to come back and talk some shit to somebody. talk some shit to me and see if he does. I ain't dealing with it no more. I got something for him. And it's going down. That's funny. Roscoe is building a shed over his heavy machinery. The Dunlap disease. Roscoe, I don't know why he's saying Roscoe, but the Dunlap disease is my belly's done lapped over my belt. Dicky-do disease is my belly done sticking out more than my dicky-do. Got one of them right there. Yeah, a lot of people have told me about this hat, man, that they like this hat. And you won't believe the fact that I got this at a, I really was, when we were in Knoxville one night, sometimes we do get to go, like we'll end up on a pattern of going through there a lot. So we get to stop for a little while, grab a pizza at the old pizza place. But we got our own little place to park. There's a barbecue place nearby. Shout out to Buddy's Barbecue for some of the best barbecue sauce there is. And Hush Puppies.
Not a sponsor.
Hashtag Hush Puppies are the awesome with barbecue sauce on them, if you don't know. But there's a little drive-through, just right around the corner. They don't have gas or anything. It's just a little market. But I always go up there. And it's a Haji Mart, right? And they always have like clothes and hats. And I seen this hat and I was like, how much is this hat? And he was like, you know, I snatched it up.
You didn't get it at the
no,
Chinese
I didn't get it at the
Walmart
Chinese place. She thought I got it at the Chinese place. I did not. I got it at the little market. They have all them hats, Tennessee hats and all that stuff. They had this laying there. It was the only one laying there too. So I was like, yeah, $6. So, okay, other trucker James Best is Roscoe. Okay, I get it now. I get how it is, but yeah, man. I hate the way it skips. We're gonna try to get. I'm gonna try to get some more videos out, man. It's just been kind of work and kind of had a lack of ideas. I didn't really want to talk much about what's going on my channel because YouTube does not like you saying the C word. I'm sure if you not the 4-letter C word, but the other C word. YouTube does not like it because so many people were getting on here and making videos that were like fear-mongering and incorrect about the information and all that stuff. That's why they are actually, I'm not monetized, and I don't plan to be. And you know, maybe one day when I have my channel down pat and consistent and all that stuff, but yeah, YouTube has been demonetizing people for that, even mentioning the word. So I'm sure that if I want this live stream, they're not going to share it out properly. They're not going to push it at all. If it hasn't been mentioned much in here. We've talked about the virus, but yeah, media is doing enough of that. How many people see when the media got busted out for trying to sensationalize or make Trump look like he was racist because he said the China virus because it comes from...
No, he said we are at war with the Chinese virus.
The Chinese virus, yeah, right. I mean, that's how he talks.
And he did it on purpose.
So what if he did it on purpose? The point is, it was smacking those media guys in the face because they were trying to, oh, it's racist, all this. And he wasn't being racist. He was, how many people, is it okay to say, I went and ate Chinese food? Or are you going to be like, I went and ate food that's from the Far East to the left of Korea?
That's racist.
Like, how else are you going to say it, man? It came from China. Everybody, and what's funny, I seen a video, they pulled up all the media, like all the times that the people that were accusing him of that on their news channel had actually called it the Wuhan or the Chinese virus several times. So, and then there was another woman that called it out and pretty much made them look like idiots. And they are. They're trying to sensationalize everything. They're trying to push everything out there and fearmonger everybody. Yes, it can get bad, and it probably will because I've kept up with the statistics and seeing how fast it's growing, and the fact that we're short on medical supplies and all this stuff for the people that are infected, it could get really bad real quick, especially when cities start to just shut down. And it's not asking them to, like Los Angeles County, they didn't ask them to go self-quarantine. They told them to not go anywhere to quarantine. It's mandatory. They ordered them to. That's why LA is like empty on the streets. I seen a drone shot of downtown LA and it was just completely dead. Over in New York, like the streets are dead. It's getting ridiculous, and it's Oriental. Yes, Oriental food. So that's racist. Now, if you try to put an accent on it, that's really like hello. I like Oriental. I can't speak. So that was great. The reporter was trying to cause problems. Yeah. And yesterday he did it. That reporter was trying to ask, and he's like, you know what? He's like, oh, you're a piece of crap. He pretty much told him he was a piece of crap for doing it. You know, and sorry about the video, guys. I really wish it was better. You know, I agree with the way that he handled that, to be honest. Like, because I don't agree with the fact that he's always on Twitter and tweeting stupid stuff. Like, he shouldn't. I don't like. You know, he should have better people that are going like, Trump, maybe you shouldn't say that on Twitter. You know, but other than that, you know, a lot of people, it does have our country like split down the middle, and it's kind of a hard situation. But you know, this new thing with the virus that's going on, man, it ain't going to make anything any better anytime soon. So I just want everybody out there, all of our friends and YouTube family and everything, to be safe, do the best you can, wash your hands, you know, just try to be as clean as you can. I know that's one of the hardest things for us as truckers, is to, maybe some people get the opportunity to stop more often, but you know, like as a team trucking, we're constantly being pushed with a short amount of time. We're constantly on hot loads, and especially in this situation, truckers are being pushed to run as much as possible. So every chance you get, clean yourself, take a shower, you know, when you're in the store, after you handle money, after you grab something off the shelf, don't touch your face. Sanitize your hands the best you can. That's, you know, obviously we're not going to be quarantined. It's not like they're going to say, hey, truckers got to stop running and go find a place to go quarantine themselves.
We're always quarantined.
We're quarantined on the road, but it's going to happen where it gets to the truck stops and people around are going to be, one thing is they don't know the incubation period of this, and people are contagious.
Oh, it's like 2 days to 4 weeks.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's crazy. So that means you don't have any symptoms at all, and you're walking around spreading it to everybody. That's the biggest thing with this. That's why it's so contagious. If it was something like, you know, strep throat, where you start becoming contagious when you start showing symptoms, that's why it's pretty easy for people to contain strep throat and get rid of it real quick. You know, they have little outbreaks in school. They send those kids home, let it ride out, sanitize everything, and usually that takes care of it. You know, there's a period that once you start showing symptoms with strep throat, and it's not like super contagious, it's a mucus thing like you get on you know, touching your eyes and stuff like that, you know, mucous membranes. So, but with this, having an incubation period that long and you actually being contagious during that time, you're carrying it around, sharing it without even knowing it. And that's the problem. That's why it's going to spread to everybody. Everybody is eventually, I think, going to get this, but it all depends on how strong your immune system is, and also how, you know, your age, things like that. Point of it, we're still here. Are you really gonna put that over? Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh crap. Do it again. So Yeah, the biggest reason we want to say hi to everybody. It's been a while. We have done a few videos that you've seen. We just haven't been consistent with it. I'm really not, like, we've been busy, but we haven't been so busy that I probably couldn't make a video. Both of us were actually had a bad case of a cold for a while, like not feeling well. I've had a cough for a couple of weeks. It's like a smoker's cough, I think, from smoking too much. I get bronchitis, and that's one thing like I have to worry about a little bit, just to be cautious, you know. But if you have any symptoms, man, just go get it taken care of. I just do worry about some of the older guys out there that their immune systems aren't going to be that great. It is choppy, Billy. The internet here sucks. I don't have enough internet on my phone to have really good run it through tethering. So I'm using the Love's Wi-Fi, and I'm parked like really far away. And every time a truck comes by, you know, it kind of makes it cut in and out a little bit. So we're doing the best we can with it. Oh, I have to kind of jiggle it a little bit, just jiggle the handle and get it to work, you know. See right there, it's okay. So I used to call Billy Raines Bully Raines because he used to give me so much crap and I didn't even do anything to him. But no, Billy's been very cool with me. I like all of his videos. I've always supported Billy's videos. I think he does a good job. He's focused, you know. He does play around a little bit with some of the other stuff, but when he does a video about something, I think he's very informative. The CB video, I started to watch it today, Billy, but I haven't got a chance to watch the whole thing, so I will go back and watch that, comment on it. I have a Stryker 655, HP 655. It's peaked and tuned. It swings about 100 watts, maybe 90 to 100 watts, somewhere around there. And being in the International, what I like about the International is that it has a dual antenna system, and some people say that doesn't help, but it works a lot better in the International than it does in a Freightliner, because the Freightliner, will tell you something, Freightliners have a serious ground problem issue. It took me a week. I had to ground everything in that truck. I had to put extra ground on the CB to a frame. I had to ground. I made sure, first of all, the inverter that was in here before it burned out, we put our own in here. When it was put in, somebody didn't put the ground on it, and that was part of the problem. Once I got my inverter in here and it was grounded and everything, and I got the CB grounded, it worked a lot better, but you still had a lot of engine noise coming through it, or alternator noise. In the International like this, it's got a dual antenna system on the back of the cab, and it's just the sticks with the top what I'm trying to say.
Oh my God, if there's a Beefy Boy calendar, I am here for it, girl.
Dude, I'm not big enough to be in the Beefy Boy calendar, but I'm working on it. You know, I already got the Dicky Doo disease, like I said. What I was saying, the antennas, both of those are the stick top load antennas. So those running together, man, I'm telling you, with my radio, I've got it. Like one day I sat and listened to Skips, and I actually caught a guy that was running out of Chicago and heard me, and he wrote that. He was like, I got to take note of that. I was in Pennsylvania, mind you, on the mountain, and it was a very clear day. The antennas were actually facing to the west, so that was like a 500-mile direct. It was just a lucky shot of skipping. But normally, you know, I'd say, you know, on a good day, anybody within, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, 8 miles, maybe higher than that, you know, back and forth. I mean, I've heard stuff far away before. It just depends. The reception on the HP 655 is really good. It's really sensitive, so it does pick up stuff. And I have 1-to-1 ratio on my SWR, so it's pushing out all the power it can. We all do. No misfit trucker is a girl's name. Yeah, they're not the whip style antenna. Whip style antenna is actually a metal rod. These are the coil with the top loads. They're the stick antennas, like the fire stick you can buy, except it's the fire stick. You can see the coils running up, and it's got the top load coil on it. So most of the power is coming out of the top of them. And when I had my Wilson 2000, when I had the Freightliner, and I had it mounted on the front, angled out at about a 45-degree angle. So a whip, I had a whip when I was a kid. I used to have a little Cobra, I forgot what it is, Cobra 29 or something. I had a little power unit, had my own little base station. I had somebody work on it and tune it up a little bit. And I had a whip antenna. I could sit up on a shelf I had in my room. It was right by a window, and my fish tank light, every time I keyed up the mic, the fish tank light would come on from the wattage coming out of it. It was kind of funny. So yeah,
we've been on here for an hour.
So yeah, everybody, anything else anybody want to talk about? We really want to come on here and say hi to everybody. Did the fish light up too? No, but I tell you what's funny. I had a frog with no eyes, not a frog. I had one, the goldfish or whatever with the big ass bulbous eyes they have. I had a frog and that fish together, and the frog attacked the fish, ended up eating both of its eyeballs, and that fish outlived that frog, man. Like, it would swim around the tank. It knew how to get around, which is kind of weird, but it would just feel around where it needed to go, and it survived just fine. So I had an eyeless goldfish. I forgot what they're called, man. I was a kid when I had that stuff. Oh, man, yeah, another thing, dude. The tornado that hit Tennessee. We were in Knoxville that night. And if anybody knows anything about the weather, this cell that started up west of Nashville, that dropped the tornado from, actually the single tornado, which was from west side of Nashville through north all the way to Lebanon, was one single tornado, which was like a 50-mile path, which is pretty insane. It was constant. Then it kind of broke up, had another little small tornado, and then hit Cookeville with the biggest tornado on EF4. And I lived in Cookeville for several years, and my daughters lived there. But what happened was that same cell ended up traveling past there, dropped a EF0, like knocked some trees and stuff down in Clark Range in Cumberland County. Then the next county over, which is where you got Oak Ridge, it knocked some trees down there, dropped a little tornado. And then it went on into Knox County. And she woke me up at 5 o'clock in the morning saying, hey, there's a tornado, because it did knock a tornado. I got some video a couple miles away, and you could see that, from knowledge of what it looks like, you could see that it was still pulling in and rotating, and you could see the lighting behind it in the clouds just sitting on the ground. So it was close to dropping in another tornado, but I think it got into a more stable air mass, so it didn't drop another one. But at that time, I realized, I saw all the stuff on my phone that everything had been devastated, and that Putnam County had reports of houses obliterated. So I sent out a message to my girls, and I sat there for about 4 hours waiting on a response from somebody. It was kind of nerve-wracking. There was another EF0 just south of there that knocked some trees down that was very close to where their mother lives at, but it was kind of crazy. We ended up driving through there in our car because we had been in Murray for a couple of days. We had to run to Knoxville, and once you get to Nashville, on the west and north side, like through there where Germantown stuff, it just houses everywhere. Just like some of them would be, not completely obliterated, but damaged badly, had to be rebuilt. A lot of houses had tarps on it, but it just went. There was debris pushed off the interstate constantly, just like all the way to Lebanon. We ended up stopping on the way back at a store. And right beside there, this was in Lebanon, right beside it, it tore a building all to pieces. right behind there, it tore factory, ripped the whole place up. You can see it from satellite view where they shot satellite shots.
There's actually a Schneider hub there.
Yeah, Snyder got hit.
Got
Western, was it Western Express? They got hit pretty bad. But you can go look up satellite view and see all along the whole path, and there's one that shows like it's a layover of the actual path with the line and everything, but you can see it clearly how it's scarred. Now you get into Putnam County, man, it was ridiculous. Putnam County, that's why I was rated EF4, and once I seen them showing drone shots of the damage, I knew, because it took a couple of days for the National Weather Service to get out there. It was at least an EF4, because there was houses that are flattened completely. Now, it hadn't been swept off like an EF5 will do, where it actually just, like, there's nothing left but a concrete foundation. They had been flattened, though, and it was bad. You know, one neighborhood, 8 people got killed just in one little neighborhood. And actually, unfortunately, the death toll did go up. It was 24 on the whole thing. 18 were out of Putnam County. And it just went out that was in intensive care, that was on life support. And his family finally just decided to let him go. So the total went up to 25 altogether, which wasn't in the 19. And so it had been 19 altogether in Putnam County, which was devastating. You know, they're still going to need help for a while, but I think the way they got federal assistance like that and everything, I think they handled it well. Actually, as a matter of fact, like, we went through places that had the power line, the old power poles were just laying everywhere where they'd scraped them off the road. They already had power lines and everything up. Like, and this was what, 3 days after it happened? 3 or 4 days. They already had power lines back up and everything. So I mean, it was amazing. They had so many volunteers in Putnam County. They had to send people away, man. They shot at the Home Depot. The whole parking lot of the Home Depot was full of people that showed up to help out. And that just, I mean, it's a volunteer state for a reason, you know. It's lucky that that tornado ended when it did, because it just ended on the west side of Cookeville. It was headed right towards a very, very populated area. It could have been even worse, and fortunately it dissipated and, you know, lifted. But yeah, Gerald, Texas tornado, 1997, man. That was a very, very strong. And the thing that's odd about the Gerald, Texas tornado, it traveled south. It actually, because there was the storms from the night before had created a boundary pushing south, and when those storms developed, it kind of pushed them south. But the Gerald, Texas tornado completely wiped out Gerald, Texas. It was an EF, or at that time they're called F5s, because EF is in enhanced Fujita, but it was an F5, and it turned into, at first it was a little snake tornado. They were following it on camera, and it was going through a field that was probably 100 yards wide tops. And then it turned into just a monster of a beast. And it literally traveled straight south, right into Gerald, Texas, and obliterated it. A bunch of people got killed. It was a bad thing. Yeah, 20 years was 2017. So, yeah, I have my history of tornadoes, I can tell you. So if you bring up tornadoes, I'll be like, yeah, I know that one.
This live feed will not end for 15 hours. You bring up tornadoes.
Yeah, you start bringing that stuff up, we'll be on here for a while. 2 automatics in it. Says you have to put 2 automatics in it. If that's, I don't know if you're talking to me. I don't know what you're talking about, Marty Saint Amour. Oh, your mom just sent us a message. She asked us if we were okay. Yeah. I will put this out there. A year ago, we had a bad run-in with what I thought was a friend of mine, and and I'm not going to talk about what happened, but due to what's going on, he knows we're truck drivers. He got a hold of us to try to make amends with us, and I'm always for making amends with somebody if, you know, we have any bad history or anything, if they're willing to, because I mean, you know, he was obviously in the wrong about something, and but he apologized for it, and somebody can be man enough to come and say, hey, I'm sorry for the way I acted or what I did, that's fine with me, man. You know, but ain't that with you?
Yeah.
So, you know, but the whole back at the tornado thing, man, I can be on that for hours. I know, like he brought up the tornado in the 90s in Gerald, Texas. I can tell you about that tornado and things about it, why it traveled to. Most tornadoes travel from southwest to northeast. It's just, that's how the tilt of the storm system set up, and they usually tend to track along the front or the triple point that's moving that way. Although the El Reno tornado and 2013, the El Reno tornado that was actually broke a record for being 2.6 miles wide of tornadic winds. That wasn't actually the whole condensation part of the funnel, but the tornadic winds ended up being that wide, causing that much damage. But then when it started, it turned towards the southeast and took a right turn, trapping a bunch of people. And then on the east side, it turned, made a left turn. And the thing is, this tornado went from like stationary up to 55 miles an hour, actually kind of looped in spot and then took off again. And one of the the awesome storm chasers, Tim Samaras, and his son and another guy that did filming and stuff, happened to get caught, and 3 of them got killed. And that was actually the first time any professional that was the first time any professional storm chaser, he wasn't even a meteorologist either, he was an engineer. He engineered a little pot. He was the one that put the little orange cone shaped looking pods out on the ground. He ran out and tried to get in front of the tornado to drop all those pods, and he'd been successful before. It had cameras in it. He was taking measurements, and we were trying to go a lot of innovative storm chasers out shooting probes at the tornado and things like that. They're trying to figure out everything they can so they can increase the warning time with tornadoes to help people's warnings out to get shelter. The Putnam County tornado, a lot of people didn't get the proper warning. My daughter's phone did not go off until the time the tornado had already hit. Her phone got a warning, and it was at the time it said until a certain time. Her phone went off when the expiration of the tornado warning was. So now the thing about that tornado, it hit some major transmission lines for power, so that could have cut power to systems sending out cell phone information and stuff like that. So that's probably part of the problem. Are you talking about south of where's that at? I know what you're talking about. It was in, you're talking about, it was an 8. I'll tell you, there was also, well, Kansas, obviously, it's, you know, tornado is part of Tornado Central. It's the main tornado. I can't think of the town there that got hit. Was it Greensburg? Was it Greensburg or Green? I can't. 2008, 2009, around that area. Greensburg, I think, is the name of the little town that got wiped out. And it was in the middle of the night, too. Like, it was at nighttime, and it obliterated the town. Some people got killed. I know it starts with green something. I think it was which is, hold on to you right now. Greensburg. Yes. That was May the 4th, 2007, EF5. It wiped out Greensburg, Kansas. Is that the one you're talking about? No, you can't get tornadoes in the South Pole. I mean, you can probably get like dust, or it wouldn't be dust, like snow devils, just from winds. That's just small spinning air on the ground. But Was that the tornado you were talking about, Greensburg, Kansas? Who was it that posted it? You're missing your calling as a metalhead meteorologist. I did probably miss my calling as a meteorologist. My mom used to push me like, "Why don't you go to school for it? Why don't you go to school for it?" Yeah, the Greensburg, Kansas tornado hit. I think it was in the evening time. It was already dark. A lot of people had settled down and gone to bed, and they had a problem with the warnings. What do you want? What do you cop up there?
Wait. He's gonna rip all our cords.
Okay. Come on, right here, over here. Come here so you can say hi to everybody. Come here, right here. Look at him. Oh, who's that? Oh, who's that? Oh, what is it? Quiet bark. Look. Shh. Quiet bark. What was that, buddy? You talking? His ear, guys, he had a bad ear infection. We had to take him to the vet. Oh my goodness, didn't we? He's doing a lot better though. His ear started bleeding. Like, yeah, we had battled an ear infection with him off and on. Like, we had medicine that you can get over the counter. We've tried everything. It would go away for a little while and then come back. And we were cleaning out one day, and there was blood coming out of it a little bit. So I was like, he's got to go to the vet now. So we were in Knoxville, and they have like a vet emergency clinic there. They were super cool. It didn't cost an extreme amount of money. You know, there is a certain amount. I think it's $125 you have to pay initially, and then whatever the diagnosis is, and they give you the medicine for the dog right then and there, you know. So it actually went well. It turns out he had like a bacterial and yeast at the same time, which dogs can get yeast in their ears just from, I guess, you know, whatever it is, but it's a double whammy pretty much. So they gave us medicine for the bacteria, and they gave him some tramadol for pain, because he was obviously in pain. He was wincing his head like this. And we have wash that we use in between for the yeast. So, but he is feeling a lot better, man. I haven't seen him really wince one time since after a couple of days after using his medicine. He's totally back at it, doing great. So, yeah, he ain't a poor doggo. He's a punk. That's what he is. Half the time he's just messing around and lazy. Now let me tell you something. The first day we gave him that medicine that they gave us, it's tramadol. It ain't like, you know, I'm sure in a dog it's a lot stronger. They've gave me tramadol before for like pain. It's like, you know, like a kind of a regular thing, especially if you got like inflammation. But
it's like an almost painkiller.
Yeah, it's kind of they don't even really know how it works. It's kind of like some other medicines that act against nerves that block signals in a way that you don't care that you have pain. So it kind of makes you forget about the pain. When we gave him 2 of them for 2 days straight, he was just, he'd go find a place to lay down. I scrubbed him off, got a bunch of his loose hair off of him, gave him a shower, and cleaned him up, everything. So when he's been like that for a couple of days, we'll let him out on the bed. He'd get up on the bed and just lay up against me, and it was out cold. Like, he wouldn't stay up to do anything. But if he did this, he'd be up ready to go. Anybody ever want to come up to my truck, you see me out there, just make sure you let yourself be known, because he'll get you. So, well, guys, it's about that time. We were only planning on doing about an hour, but, you know, I started talking about meteorology and stuff. You know, I'm still interested in doing that other side channel because it's right now, it's that time of year for the severe weather to break out. We've already had a couple rounds of it. Just 2 days ago, we had a nice little round of severe weather. Arkansas got quite a few tornadoes and some damage. Fortunately, nobody was injured in that situation. It was the night before, Texas got hit. They had some damage in a small little town, and in Arkansas got some damage.
I don't know if we'll get to go on our jaunt to Oklahoma or wherever this year?
Yes, I've been saving money because we are wanting to take off 2 weeks, get a green screen. You know, what's the point in that, man? That's a cool little background. I like the red glow and
For the
everything.
weather.
Oh, for the weather? No, I don't need. No, I can run everything. Like, I've already done it a couple times. If you'll go back and look at my live feeds, I've already done it a couple times on here where I've ran straight off of like Windy, some old news footage, and do some deep dive videos on tornado forensics. I could. I mean, I can tell you. I know how to spot I mean, like, I went to storm chaser class or storm spotter classes for a while, years back. I haven't been in a while, but I've actually just studied my own knowledge. Like, I'll sit for hours and watch videos of certain tornadic events, like 2011, like the April 27, 2011 outbreak was just one of the rarest, once in a 50-year type outbreak. Like, especially like through the middle of Tuscaloosa, Alabama, with all kinds of fucking video coverage. So that's the whole point, is not only, they have tornado paparazzi. People go out to get shots of tornadoes to sell them to the news outlets. They will buy them. A good video is worth a couple grand. A really good video is worth a couple grand. Photos you can get like $500 for, if you wanted to do that. That's not something, I mean, that's cool and all, but my thing is for the experience, because there ain't nothing like seeing just crazy ass weather and the adrenaline rush. We got caught in a bad storm one day in North Carolina, and fortunately I was parked up against a bank, and it was insane. The truck was about to roll. Remember that day we both had to duck down because the windows were probably about to blow out. It was insane, and there was tornado warnings and all that stuff that day, but I'm not sure if anything touched down, but it seemed like we were just pretty much being hit by straight line winds. And it ain't no joke. Straight line winds can reach over 100 miles an hour in a microburst and everything, and come down and roll a truck over for sure, especially if you're on the interstate. You don't want to do that, pull over and park. But we parked up against the bank to try to block some of the wind, but it ended up coming from the other direction directly, and it was just rocking the truck. I was scared. We were heavy. I was scared the windows were going to blow out. It was hailing. There was debris flying through the parking lot. And the rush, though, it was great. She's used to it. She's completely used to it.
Oh, no, it's okay. I just have to pee.
You have to pee?
Yeah.
Okay.
I might have to, like, it's kind of a challenge to get out of the bunk right now.
Yeah. So, guys, I appreciate everybody coming in here and keeping us some viewers in here, man. It's fluctuated between like 10, 12, 13, and we do highly appreciate it. We're going to stick to what we're doing out here, trucking, and try to help out the cause right now. We're going to do this we can quicker, and that's what it's about. Yeah, I could consider that. I would have to sit and work on video clips and work on making sure that I give credit to whoever's videos I use. But the whole thing is, I want my own videos. I got good camera equipment now. I just, like, really, all we got to do is lock the car up with food, and have enough money for shelter for the night if we want to stay in a hotel or sleep in the car. It depends. I'd rather try to get in a hotel to sit and work on, uploading videos and stuff like that. But yeah, we definitely want to take a couple weeks, probably through the first part of May. And I think if this news we got coming, I think everything works out, we should still be able to. I want to try my best to. But we wanted to take 2 weeks off, spend a week out there chasing, and then maybe a week at home with the kids, But it's something that I have a passion for, a true passion for, and I think the benefit of being a trucker is sometimes I get to come across that stuff in a truck, But as in being in a truck, you always want to keep yourself safe, because out in the plains and stuff, those storms, they don't have nothing to block these downdrafts in the wind, and you get sideswiped by one of them downburst or a gust front that can reach over 100 miles an hour. You're going to be laying on your side real quick. So it's always good to keep aware of what you're driving into. There are apps out there that will tell you are approaching a twisting storm, that will actually tell you that you're driving into a warned area. I have, on some of my other weather videos that I did, I've put that app out there. Windy is a good app for seeing wind fields out there all over the country. You can even play it forward through time and see where it's going to get windy at. So if you know you're going to be in that area, and it even has arrows showing, you know, which way the wind, and a scale on the bottom showing how strong the winds are going to be by a Kohler scale. So yeah, that comes in handy. You can start a meteorology channel, naked meteorology channel. Yeah, okay, thanks. Oh, you been talking about me? I'm gonna flip a switch. Everybody go check our TikTok out, Instagram. On here I do have links to our Instagram on our emails on our page on Red Monkey Trucking. If you just go check it out, you can click our links. I do not have the TikTok up there yet, but yeah, you can go check out our TikTok. We got, like, the easiest video was just showing the inside of the truck. But we get quite a few views on some of our stuff, and we try to be funny on there too. That's more of just us goofing around. So yeah, go check that out. Everybody, you know, as we always say, happy trails and be safe out there. Everybody try to keep clean and you know, keep yourself healthy and well and all those things. And we'll see you next time. Look out for some videos. Peace out.